Do something. All right, thank you so much. When you join, you share extensively. Let's have everybody on board. And we obviously seeing everything that's happening. And this is extremely overwhelming for us to take as far as the negativity is concerned. And so we still remain prayerful because as Ambazonians, as we have declared, we have decided that La République du Cameroon will have to kill every one of us before they're going to take back that land. I want to salute everybody who's joining from Donga Mantong and to say that our sincerest condolences with the families that are affected by the genocide committed on our people by the 87-year-old dictator in Yaoundé, Paul Biya Bimvondo. A man who came to power by trick, who has stayed in power on blood, and who is still staying in power through fraud and on blood. Cameroon will not take Ambazonia, no matter what it takes for us to defend that land. We'll continuously fight. They fight us on social media, block our notifications, disable and remove our accounts. They prevent us from posting genocidal pictures from the acts of the government of Paul Biya. We understand all those things. Let me be very clear and specific with all of you that there's only one way Cameroon is going to take over Ambazonia. And that one way is in another world, not in the world we live in today. No matter what it takes, we are going to defend the land with our blood, our pride, our freedoms. We are going to defend the land. I'm just getting information about what the military has done in Moi again. As I speak with you, from the corpses that have been counted, they have slaughtered 14 other people. 14 bodies lying dead, scattered around Moi. Ladies and gentlemen, fellow Southern Cameroonians, please, as you join, you share. You can see that I'm starting this show without waiting on the time to clock up because I want people coming, just join. Let me be clear with anybody who is still trying to romance this aspect of the war. When I said it 2 or 3 years ago, some people who were short-sighted thought that, oh, Eric Tato is very radical, he's an extremist, he's this, he's that. This was because they didn't understand that when you are at war, you are a rebel, and rebels respect only their laws. I stay in the United States of America. This is one of the most democratic countries in the world, and I respect the laws of this land because this land is not in chaos. If they become, at any point that they become an uprising in America, which I don't see any in the next billion of years, but you can never say, then there will be some degree of lawlessness. Anywhere in the world it happens. Therefore, you have to get to a point where your declarations will not be good. Even at that, you still have considerations for some key aspect of the civilian population or the foreign population. Why I will be expatiating on the ridiculous press briefing of the know-nothing Minister of Communication for La République du Cameroon, I want to start by remarking very, very emphatically that the aspect of having Francophones out of Ambazonia is not an option. It's not an option. It's an oxygen for the survival of the revolution. I said it 2-3 years ago, but revolutionary illiterates and monsters stayed on an agenda driven based on their egos, characterized by their know-nothing of war techniques and rebellions. So they thought they were doing themselves a favor. Today we have all come to the same point Eric Tato postulated 3 years ago. That is because, without doubt, as I've always been inspired, and as most of you refer to me as the chosen one, is because probably, if not, certainly, God gives me this vision. Francophones will have to leave. And when I say they will leave, that decision is already being transmitted to restoration fighters. It is only one option. They will leave our land. If they don't leave, we'll send them out by force. That is for their own security. We'll no longer be doing business with Francophone Cameroon. And for our brothers and sisters abroad who are still using the Douala seaport for transportation of their goods, you have to put a hold to that business. Because it is my opinion, and it will be seen by many, that you are doing business with the occupier, giving them money through custom duties for them to buy weapons and kill our people. I want to assure you that by you sending containers through the Douala seaport, you contributed at least 1% to the massacre in Gabo. We will not longer sit and watch the Cameroon government kill our people and you still do business with them. Therefore, other stringent policies will be implemented on our own people who insist on doing business and giving money to the occupier. We will henceforth put a radar, monitor from the United States, from Europe. We know all shipping centers. If you send containers through Douala from Europe to China to any place, and you're an Amazonian, we will confiscate your house in your village, because that, of course, will assume that is a storage where you ship containers through the colonial airport or seaport, and then you use it you use your house in the village as a storage, or anywhere your house is in Amazonia. There you give the occupier a weapon, which of course is money, through custom duties to buy more weapons to kill our people. Therefore, please do not ship containers anymore. We have to wait. This is the time for ultimate sacrifices for all Amazonians across the continents of the world. This is a collective fight. You must not come on social media to talk, but you can place statutory bans on your transactions and business with the Republic du Cameroon. If you have not been touched by the issue in Gabo, today we are up, and before we can minimize the heartaches, the trauma, and all the psychological defects that have resulted from the massacre of our babies, mothers, grandmothers, and fathers, our youth, 48 plus of them in number, they have again slaughtered 14 more in one. They didn't bother about what the bishop said, or what the UN is saying, or what Commonwealth said. They have not bothered what the United States is saying, because according to them, it is an internal issue. No, it is not. That is why we are going to take measures, absolute measures. If you send containers to the Douala seaport, you'll be considered La République du Cameroon citizen. Therefore, you also be expelled, as we are going to expel Francophones. Restoration forces, last night I discussed with a lot of them, and this will be implemented. I want you to trust me. My name is Eric Tato. If you send containers through Douala seaport, I repeat, it's of utmost importance. We got to stop business with the Republic du Cameroon. Going further, the killing of our people is repetitive because some of us have not understood that war is war. Please, as you join, you share extensively. This show is going to be as brief as possible. Now, La République du Cameroon has put forth a crazy communication package trying to convince the world. Somehow, I don't know how they intend to do that, that the incident in Dongamanto was based on exchanges with restoration fighters. Ladies and gentlemen, fellow Southern Cameroonians, nobody is surprised that the government of Cameroon is this confused. They are very confused. Very, very confused. That is why the economy is backward. They don't even have booklets to make their own passports. They don't have their own cargo plane. They don't have any good airport. They can't fly domestic flights. They don't even have good roads where they go to steal timber. They don't have electricity, stable electricity. They don't have nothing. Without Ambazonia, if Cameroon leaves Ambazonia for just 24 hours, her economy would have collapsed. That is why they are killing every single Ambazonian. They are not killing you because they want to keep a one and indivisible Cameroon. That's not true. They are killing you in Gabu because they want to take your bauxite away. They are slaughtering you in Akwaya because they want to take your gold. They kill you in Indian because they want the oil. In Bafanji and other areas in Gokutunja, because they want to have control of the dams. Same thing in Menchum. The iron ore. That is why they are killing you. Cameroon is not killing you because she's defending territorial integrity. Who defends territorial integrity? By slaughtering pregnant women, breastfeeding mother, 4-month-old babies. Who does that? I want to shame the Minister of Communication. There is no need reading anything from your poorly drafted, inconsequential docket that you call a press briefing. It doesn't make no sense. And all my years as a journalist, I have never seen a man who writes in a poorly drafted manner like you did, Mr. Minister. If Cameroon is not confused, how come a man leaves a position of special duties at the presidency or leaves as Minister of Territorial Administration from the Secretary General of the colonial ruling CPDM party? He goes to Territorial Administration and they come around, run him around, bring him to communication. The same way they brought the largemouth Churuma. People with no expertise to come and head communication. Let me tell you something about communication. Communication is a special social science. That is why everything in the world is centered around communication. Therefore, Cameroon will forever remain confused because its communicators know nothing. They have no savvy of the field. They don't know how to supplement facts to try to minimize the criticism of their actions. Therefore, the minister thinks that as a communicator, writing lies outrightly gives you any impetus. It doesn't, Mr. Minister. You lie from the start to the end of your communique, which I will not want to read, Minister René Sali. But I want to refer you to one of the most authentic sources that we can rely, even if not on the numbers of the deaths, we can rely on the assertion that Cameroon military killed those our brothers and sisters. Let me now come to what I tweeted, what I have on Twitter. Just a minute, please. I want to bring us the document from the Kumbu Diocese. As you are aware that Ngabu is in that diocese. Let me now bring you what the Bishop George Nkwo of the Diocese of Kumbu wrote about this. Diocese of Kumbu Bishop's House, P.O. Box 115, Kumbu, Northwest Region, Cameroon. To the priests and religious, to all the faithful, men and women of goodwill, Diocese of Kumbu, a day of prayer for the victims of Ngabu, Ntumba killings that took place on February 14th, that's Friday, February 14th, 2020, Valentine's Day. We have been reliably informed about a very sad incident which took place on the 14th of February in the village of Ngabu, Ntumba, in St. Martin de Pearls Parish, Ndu. On Friday, 14 February 2020, the military, on the line, Mr. Communication Minister, that is a bishop, a man of God reporting on the field. You can fool some people all the time. You can't fool them all every time. You can fool some people sometimes, but you can't fool them all the time. Let us get it very clearly. That is the bishop of Kumbu. He's on the floor, on the ground. The military invaded. It is clearly stated that it was an invasion. It was an invasion by the military of La République du Cameroun. You invaded our territory. Please, when you join, you share. And let me tell you one thing. Mr. Minister, let me tell you one thing. I'll play a short video, if possible, after this. The military invaded Ngabu at 4 a.m. That is when children are deep at sleep. This is the height of wickedness. This is the height of wickedness. And we are told that 24, this is where I have a problem with this communique because there are 48, but that's fine. We'll leave it at that for now. 28 people were killed, and among whom were pregnant women and little children. Some of the victims were burnt alive and several others wounded. A total of 9 houses were burnt down. Hundreds of people from Ngabu are currently displaced and seeking for refuge in nearby villages under deplorable human conditions. So they have declared Friday, 21st February 2020 as a day of prayer and mourning in that diocese. So, people of the world, that is the report from the diocesan press, I can put it that way. The communication of the bishop. The same bishops who debunk the lies of the Cameroon government. The international community can never be fooled, Mr. Minister. You can do that document, keep in the dresser for the purposes of your office or something, but not for us Ambazonians. We know you killed our people. You massacre our children, our babies. You killed them. But we can assure you that you all will not go unpunished. I know the lives of Ngala Gerard, Atanganji Paul, Mengo Victor, and the rest of you, the Tabetandus, Mbelamokis, and the rest. It's a shame that you still romance and you're in bed with a man who orders the killing of your children. We have also taken a stand. We are going to make sure that no parliamentarian fictitiously elected on the blood of our people will take any office. Therefore, going forward, from today, Restoration Forces take over all the councils. Any council building that you see any councillor or mayor in there, consider them La République du Cameroun. Do what you can do. Special status, arrest, whatever you want to do, you have the right. We do not have any mayor in southern Cameroon, Ambazonia. Therefore, you will not occupy that office. We want to see the gendarmes, the military, everybody that things can defend you. Let them begin to guide you from your house, to your office, to your job, to anywhere you want to go, to your business place. We will start in Mamfe as we have started, and we will set the example all through. All of you have to understand, Ambazonians, that these are desperate times, and desperate measures are needed. I know they are going to take this space soon. They will take it down very soon. We will get a new one. So stay on the alert. We have decided that no mayor is going to sit in any council. From Boya to Mamfe to Tinto to Akwaya to Ekiliwindi to Tombe to Lebialem Alo. No mayor is going to sit there. You have seen what General Yeke has already done. We want to salute your strength and commitment, General Yeke. The arrest of those councillors is a clear indication of what I said about after elections effects. There was during, there was before, during, and after. So long as you're a councillor, we can also assume that you are in support of what happened in Gabu. We'll get you arrested and we'll decide on your fate based on international and professional human rights laws. We have had enough from enablers, from occupiers, and our territory will not be taken for granted anymore. Mr. Minister of Communication, go and read your notes. Look at what the bishops are writing. Look at what the Diocese of Kumbu just wrote. It's a shame that you have authenticated your lies. And now you speak lies in volume. And you think that the people of Southern Cameroons will succumb to such cheap lies. No, the world will neither succumb to it. Therefore, fellow Southern Cameroonians, this is a time for all of you to wake up. There is no way the military should come to your communities and kill you. Also arm yourself with machetes. Every one of us is supposed to get a gun. Keep it in your house. If you have guns in your houses, the military will not come. We are ready to arm any family. Arm your brothers. For those of you in the diaspora, revolutionary politicians have eaten your money for too long. You can adopt another strategy while we fight with the defense councils. You can begin to look at if your family is this place. You can buy your family 2 or 3 guns. Let them hold it. And no family should just open their doors to a military man. No. When you're opening, you're firing. Because if every Ambazonian family has a gun, the military will not come there to come and kill people. Do you know why they kill those little children? I will tell you the little secret. Do you know why? I will tell you. Let me tell you why. I will show you a video. You watch it and then you understand what the military is doing. Please, keep sharing as you join. Keep sharing as you join, please. Let's share. As you join, let's share. Okay, I got the video here. Keep sharing. And for those of you who are joining, if you are not following this page yet, you look at the blue line saying that follow Eric Tato. Just click on it as you watch. You will get it. I want to play this video. Share and I will analyze something to you so that you understand why we have defeated the Cameroon military and why they are killing our people. Look at this. Please share as you join. Okay.
La condition c'est quoi?
La condition c'est que quand tu portes comme ça, qu'on ne te pas dit que tu manges comme le guayaba, comme le...
Hold on, please.
Comme le cube, avec les choses, avec l'œuf. Il y a beaucoup de choses qu'on ne mange pas quand tu portes ton gang sur toi. C'est pour ça que
On appelle ça comment?
gang.
Ouvre un peu, je vois, avec ta main. Donc si on tire sur toi,
Il y a déjà une condition sur ça.
et on vous demande aussi de baiser. La condition c'est quoi?
La condition c'est que quand tu portes comme ça, il ne faut pas que tu manges les choses qu'on n'était pas dit que tu manges, comme le guava, comme le bleu rouge, comme le cube, avec les choses, avec l'œuf. Il y a beaucoup de choses qu'on ne mange pas quand tu portes ton gang sur toi. C'est pour ça que
On appelle ça comment?
gang.
Ouvrez un peu, je vois, avec ta main.
Keep sharing, please.
Donc si on tire sur toi, ça rentre, ça ne prend pas.
Ça peut rentrer gang, c'est parce que j'ai déjà exprimé une condition sur ça gang.
Et on vous demande aussi de baiser les femmes.
Mais il y a beaucoup de gens que quand tu
Soulève un peu ton arme là, je vois. Il faut que je te filme quand même, non? Tu es mon bon petit, non? Tu es mon collègue, non? Hein?
Oui, gang.
Alors, on appelle ton arme là comment? Le nom de ton arme là, c'est quoi?
C'est une mot gang.
Hein?
Une mot.
Une
Je
mort.
pense c'est vraiment une boulette.
Je connais. Tu as le nom de ton arme là, c'est comment? Parce que j'ai vu certains de tes collègues anonymes qu'on appelle
C'est what gang.
Cross Adai, les Simon Pépé.
Il y a les cross and il y a beaucoup de choses qu'on appelle sur ça gang.
Et toi, on t'appelle comment? Dans
Ouais.
ton groupe?
Moi,
Oui.
on m'appelle seulement Dieu donné. C'est mon
Dieu
nom
donné.
là-bas, gang.
Ok. Et,
I will translate. Just watch.
je voulais même te dire quoi. Tu as quel grade dans votre camp là-bas?
Il y en a plus là, gars. Ça fait seulement 4 mois pour moi.
Et qui est votre commandant? Regarde-moi un peu.
Notre commandant,
Oui.
c'est quelqu'un qui a quitté là.
Regarde-moi ici.
Il a quitté là-bas encore, gang.
Il est quitté encore. Il s'appelle qui?
Snake, gang.
Hein?
Snake,
Snake.
oui, gang.
Ah, il
Mais
quitte.
il habite ici.
En bas?
Il habite ici, gang. Il appelle Snake.
Il habite à quel niveau?
Ici à Sop. Non, gang. Non, gang. C'est pas en route. Quand tu rentres par ici, tu montes seulement. Quand tu montes, tu vas voir sa maison là-bas en haut, gang.
Il est seul là-bas.
Il habite plus seul là-bas, gang. Tu ne peux pas. Si ce que tu veux lui arriver, il faut que tu ailles avec le force.
Ils sont combien là-bas? Regarde-moi ici, non? Comment?
Ils sont comme 14 comme ça, gang.
14.
Oui, gang. Oui, gang.
Ils ont combien de équipes?
Il y a seulement 2 qui est là-bas, gang.
Et qui arrête les équipes?
C'est le gars qui est là, allé dans le village de...
Okay, this is what I wanted you to watch. So, please share. And you listen to that. Don't bother about whether the guy that they are interrogating is Bamleki or from Babaju. Get the message I want to preach to you. Let Ambazonians understand. Don't bother about that. That video is coming from DDR. You know, as I told you, I didn't even know they have a Facebook page until recently somebody directed me. I went and picked it up. That video is from there. And when they do videos like that, don't look at it negatively. That guy can be Amber. I cannot ascertain if he's truly Bamleki or not, but this is what I want you to know. If you listen to that video, they are interrogating him. That, who is your commander? This is the most important part I want you to know. Who is your commander? He says this. That you people, what kind of grade of guns do you people have? He says this. And he asks them, he specifies that how many AKs do you people have? That is what he asked. And then he goes further that who are those holding the AKs? This is the take-home message for all Southern Cameroonians. It means one thing. La République du Cameroon can never go to any village or camps when everybody has AKs and RPGs. When everybody has AKs, when we have AKs and RPGs, they can never go to any village. For example, if we have just 30 of our boys stationed in Gabu with 30 AKs, 1 or 2 RPGs, they will not come there. You know why he's asking that people have how many AKs? Because they don't go to where people have AKs. That brings me to explaining why they killed those 10 years, 4 years children in Gabu. Because the government is a very wicked government. You see the Betty Asomos, the René Sadis, the Mengots, all of them, they are looking, they have a Biya mentality. You see, Biya has been in power since 1982. So he understands that once somebody becomes even 10 years, that is a threat. Kill the person at once. Because 10 years plus the number of years that he will stay in power, imagine that Biya had an enemy that was just 10 years old, then when Biya became president. You know that when Biya became president, some of us were not born. So imagine that you were a radical youth when you were just 12, and if Biya didn't kill you at 12, by now that Biya is at this age, that is 87, and he's president since 1982, you become a very strong politician, a very strong rebel. So that is why they go and kill our children, because they know that there is a change. Please listen to me. Cameroon knows that the thing has changed, and everybody is Ambazonian. They are aware that we will fight from generation to generation, that the children who are coming in 6 years, they'll pick up guns. Yes, that is why they are killing our children. They are not stupid. It's a war technique. Although the international community stays quiet, which is a war technique to them, but a genocide. Therefore, we have to do something. That is why they're killing this child. Because listen, a child who is 10 years today, tomorrow in 6 years, that child will be 16 and is a soldier. Yes, here's the truth. Therefore, if Cameroon kills our 10-year-old, we'll look for their own 10-year and kill as well. Because their own 10-year to become a soldier tomorrow, to be in their military, take their guns and come and kill our own 10-year-old. We have had enough from these people. We have had enough. Listen to me. You look at this video that I just showed. He's asking that how many acres? That is the answer to our problem. What we need now, I'm ending this show in 5 minutes. What we need now, we need acres. That's it. Any other person doing whatever is good for added advantage. What we need now, fellow Southern Cameroonians, this brings me to one crucial aspect. And this aspect is your understanding of where to put your money. And because this was a reply to that crooked minister in Yaoundé, I don't want to bring up things and mix up. Just to let you know that we are aware why your soldiers are killing our children, because it's an instruction from Yaoundé. All the Mengots, they know that they can still be in power in the next 30 years. René Sadi, in 30 years, he will not be even Biya's age. Yes. So they make sure that they kill all our people, so that at the end of the day, what will happen? They would have eliminated our youth generation. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you so much for watching. Like I said, this show is going to be brief, and it's going to be brief. So we'll leave you here, and to let La Republic du Cameroon know that you will not kill any more of our children. Tomorrow, or maybe sometime, we'll announce another show to dissect the issue that still leaves 23 or more of our compatriots missing in Bui. I don't want to bring all of this in this show, but as we mourn 48 of our compatriots that are killed in Ndonga Manton, we also mourn the 14 that have just been killed in Nwa. The Nwa incident is terrible. We'll keep on following up, and to make sure that we get exact figures that have actually died from that incident. All this is done by the genocidal regime in Yaoundé. We pray for all our fighters, pray for our IDPs, our prisoners, refugees. We pray for everybody and those who have gone before us. And once we are up and settled, we'll revisit the Bui massacre. So all those who are involved in the issue in Bui, please get prepared subsequently, because the same hit the government of Cameroon is getting, you are going to get that same hit. We cannot forget 23 of our own also killed in Bui. Thank you so much, and God bless you. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.